while waiting for their formation lap to begin. We'll have 28 laps of beautiful sunshine here in Malaysia. Let's run down on the Teams Championship as well. So Haas leading the way with 64 points, Renault with 60, and Williams with 50. Williams drops down after Renault overtakes them, but as Mercedes are launching a late challenge, Toro Rosso with 41 championship points, Mercedes with 33, Williams could see a potential risk of losing third place in the championship, and that's something that Frank Williams and Claire Williams will not want to happen during this season. They've only ever finished third place, and they only want to go up, they never want to go down. So let's have a look at the tyre choices then as the drivers go around and see what drivers have decided to go on what compound. So Wazzy, he's going for the hard compound tyre at the start. I don't know if that's going to really help him defend positions, so he's going to have to be very mindful of the next 5 drivers as they're all on medium compound tyres. Then Pitbull, the only other hard compound driver, in 7th position. So the Haas drivers, they're looking for the long runs at the start when the cars are heavy with fuel. Ains on the soft compound tyre, so the only driver inside the top 10 to be running on that compound. So he's probably be looking for a 2-stop strategy here. Certainly the McLaren, especially in Ains's case, he's been looking very quick here, very racy. That could really play into his hands, and especially now considering Chrisel has been named the official McLaren Honda driver, and he's had 2 very strong results in Australia and Bahrain. Well, Ains does not want to be outshone by his new teammate. Well, who else has gone for the soft compound tyres? Sanders also gone for the soft compound tyres as well, but he's down in 16th position. Galvanic Gamer has gone for the hard tyre, and as has Virgil. So a lot of drivers looking for long runs at the beginning, and then just kind of see how it works out for them. Well, let's cut back to the action as all of the drivers now just getting ready. They're lining up on the grid as he's bringing the train around now. Here we go, all of the cars lining up on the grid. Getting ready as all the lights go out. Now! They're all screaming down to the first corner. Everyone scrambles around. What he's going to do is he defends the inside. He's got a Red Bull right behind him, but we've got a Force India going around the outside. And that's ERL Verstappen as he's going to take the lead in this Grand Prix. Is everyone going to get out? Oh, there's a little bit of contact in the back. Let's cut right to the back of the field. Fresh LP. Got a little bit of an issue as he's touched someone. He's touched the back of the Renault. That's Virgil. No, that just seems to be a little bit of a lag issue there. It looked like on my screen, as we see several drivers have gone off. Oh, there's carnage. Absolute carnage has gone on. What has gone on in this Grand Prix so far? And STB Pair has retired from the race. STB Pair is missing a wheel. He's missing his front right. That is him out of this Grand Prix. Mita now struggling to get back onto the track. He's dropped down into 17th position. It just looked like there was some sort of major lag issues. And the drivers, there was just absolute carnage going on. Everyone seems to have gotten back on track, but STB Pair, the Mercedes, looked like they were in for a really strong showing. Well, STB Pair, the hero of Bahrain, has now become the zero of Malaysia. Well, let's cut right back to the front of the action as ERL Verstappen, in his return to the European Racing League in his Force India. He's leading, but Wazzy all over the back of him. As we can see in the background, Ames has gotten himself into 3rd position on those soft compound tyres. So he has had a fantastic start and has really taken advantage of the carnage that happened earlier on. Well, all he's got to do now is just keep up behind these harder compound drivers. And then when the DRS will be activated in the next lap, all the drivers behind him scrambling and scrapping away just to try and get themselves up in front. The Force India team, 1st and 4th at the moment. Calibra, great result for him. He'll certainly be very, very happy that his new teammate, his temporary teammate, ERL Verstappen, who's got Wazzy still all over the back of him. Let's cut to the front of the action here as we see them getting down the main straight. Wazzy going to make a move here. In the slipstream. Darts to the left. No, has a look, thinks better of it. He's going to set himself up for the next corner. Uses a little bit of traction. But he'll still be right behind the gearbox of that Force India. He's going to look to go to the outside. Try and set himself up. He goes for the switchback. Rides the curbs a little bit too much. Verstappen closes the door on him. Verstappen says, no thank you. This is still my position. Covers the inside once more as Wazzy goes to the outside. Great defending there from Verstappen in his 1st Grand Prix back. He's just not letting him go. Keeping up with him. It's very, very impressive to know that Wazzy on the hard tyres is keeping up with Verstappen, who's on the medium, and we know that Verstappen is a very, very quick and strong driver. He certainly was a championship contender, who we believed him to be in season 1. So we know what Verstappen's racecraft is. We know how quick he can be. It's going to be a very, very interesting fight. We're going to stick with this just for now. Let's ride on board. The onboard camera of Wazzy as now he gets into the DRS zone. Verstappen just got a little bit of a better exit. You can see him pulling away ever so slightly. So Wazzy's not going to get the benefit of it here. With medium tyres, just a little bit of better traction as they go out of these slow corners. This is all Wazzy really needs to do. He doesn't need to push incredibly hard. He just needs to... He has a look, trying to psych out Verstappen. All he needs to do is just keep behind Verstappen. He doesn't really need to do anything. Doesn't need to push, doesn't need to... Oh, as Crystal has left the session. Oh, and that's terrible news for McLaren there, as he was an official McLaren Honda driver today. Had the official contract signing and everything, and McLaren were on course to score some good points, and were believing that McLaren would get some good points with Crystal, and that's just really, really disappointing. And that's just atypical of the McLaren Honda luck. Let's get back to the broadcast camera. Is Verstappen starting to pull away a little bit? Meanwhile, Calibra in 3rd position. He has gotten himself in front of Ames. So are the soft compound tyres that McLaren Honda is running now starting to wear off already? The Force India team on course for a very, very strong result. In 4th place is ERL to the Max. So Max has had a great start after all of the carnage. He did qualify in 3rd, so he did drop back a little bit. Struggled, but now he's got himself back up into the running. Former championship leader, currently sitting in 8th position. He's to get right back into the championship hunt, and this is the best way to do it. He's got clean air in front of him, clean air behind. ERL Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Meanwhile, let's have a look further back in 5th position. Bravo. defending from Pitbull, and is that Galvanic Gamer? Has he got himself? He sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Yes, it is. That is Galvanic Gamer. Remember, of course, FPV Pair, his teammate, did retire early on from this Grand Prix. Bravo just defending his 5th place. So it seems like the medium tyres just not really working out as well as the drivers would have expected. Like the hard compact tyres, especially in the hot, humid temperatures of Malaysia, just seems to work a little bit better than these medium compacts. But it's just a case of getting these out of the way and seeing what you can do. Let's have a look further down the field. ERL Virgil is in 9th position. Oh, and Crystal has rejoined, so it looked like he didn't retire, he just dropped out of the lobby. Is he still going round? Is his ghost still going round? Has he been reconnected? Well, his ghost is still going around, so it looks like he'll be able to rejoin back into the race and get himself back in the running. He's currently down in 16th at the moment. He's not going to be really happy with that. Well, let's run out top 18 drivers, or 17 drivers. Well, let's cut back to Verstappen, sorry, as he's going to have to go, defensive as Wazzy got it around the outside. Yes, he does. But Verstappen had a great drive and just a little bit too much speed, tapped the back end of Wazzy, and that's cost him at least half a second. Wazzy has gotten the position made, and that Haas driver now leads the Malaysian Grand Prix. Well, let's go over to Wazzy right now so we can have a look and see what the top 17 drivers are. So, at the moment, Wazzy finally takes back the control of this Malaysian Grand Prix. He leads from ERL Verstappen. Calibra, the second Force India, is in 3rd position and closing in on this battle for the lead. ERL to the max is in 4th for the Red Bull. Pitbull got ahead of Bravo. He now takes 5th position in this Grand Prix. Bravo looking to have a little look back. He's in 6th position with Galvanic Gamer following close behind. Let's stick with these 3 at the moment. We'll ride on board with Galvanic Gamer as both he and Bravo will get DRS for Pitbull. Close enough to even have a look or just set themselves up? Not at the moment. Galvanic Gamer looking for the wider exit, providing better traction for those harder compact tyres. Good exit from him. Right behind the slipstream of Bravo. But remember, Bravo has also got DRS as well, so essentially that cancels out the DRS effect. Getting a little bit too wide then. Galvanic Gamer thought I might have a bit of an opportunity, but just wasn't able to capitalise on it. It wouldn't have been a good move if he'd have done that. Further down the field then, 8th place is Tamika Manakar, just riding ahead of ERL Virgil, who is in 9th. Virgil is closing in on the Hungarian. In 10th place, Beethoven for the 2nd Manakar. He looks like he's slowly but surely having a couple of other drivers for company. There's Ames, who's dropped down to 11th. Still running on those soft compound tyres, so I don't know what's happened to him. He had a monstrous start. At one point, running in 3rd position. Now he's just faded away. 12th place, Ellie Flyerbone. 13th is Fresh LP. 14th is Misa, who seemed to suffer from that issue, that carnage that happened at the start of the race. And the Williams team really having a dismal day here. He's struggling in qualifying. Now in the race, no luck here in Sepang. Not Sepang, sorry, in Malaysia. So he's back up and running. He's in 15th now. Sand way behind everyone in 16th. Kruppens in 17th. Well, meanwhile, further up the field then, Plazzi seems to have pulled a little bit of a gap to Verstappen at the moment. It's 1.5 seconds on lap 8 out of 28. It seems like those medium compound tyres at the moment, they might be starting to hurt, might be starting to fade away. And that's allowing Plazzi to slowly but surely increase his lead. It's not by much, it's still little by little. You've got to think as the laps go on. Well, it's insane. Verstappen takes 0.2 of a second out of him on that particular sector. So, as Verstappen decided to slow down a little bit, get out of the dirty air, control the temperature in his tyres, preserve them, and then look to raise an attack later on. He's out of the DRS window at the moment, so he'll be out of the dirty air of that Haas car as he's decided to come into the pits. And so is his teammate. Oh dear. This is going to be a problem. The Force India team, they're going to double stack, and that's going to cost Calibra a lot of time. Verstappen goes for the harder compound tyres. And Calibra, he's just lost so much time. Maybe a miscommunication there from the Force India team, but both of them now have gone for the hard compound tyres. And that has cost Calibra a position as a Red Bull gets in front of him. That's ERL Max. The Max has gotten out in front just of Misa. Who are the other drivers that are in front of Max? Pitbull, he's on the hard tyre. Fresh LP is also on the hard tyre as well. Ellie Flyabo in 8th position. He's on the medium compound. Verstappen has gotten himself out in slightly clean air, so it's worked out very, very well for him at the cost of his teammate. So Force India, they may have ruined their chances of getting a double podium here. So we're going to have to see how this develops during the race. But yeah, I'm sure Calibra will not be happy with the Force India team for that miscommunication there. He had to sit behind his teammate for a few seconds, and that's cost him big time. Well, what are the other drivers going to do further up the field? Let's have a look. So let's have a look at Galvanic Gamer, who's currently in 2nd position and 8.6 seconds behind Wazzy. What is it now? Well, he's just set the fastest lap, and he's taken a massive chunk of time. The gap's now down to 7.9 seconds, so he's taken 0.7 of a second now that he's gotten clean air. And that Mercedes, it's just so beautiful when it's out in clean air. It's just a car that runs perfectly when it hasn't got traffic. But when it's stuck behind a car, it just really isn't a very, very good car to drive. It just really isn't a nice car that you can drive when following a car in front of you. The turbulent air, it just upsets that Mercedes so much. Now that Galvanic Gamer has gotten some fresh air in front of him, he's going to be hounding down Wazzy, and the Haas team will be certainly telling him that Mercedes is coming for you. What is the time going to be? It's 7.8 seconds at the moment. What's it going to be at the next interval? It's only closed by a few hundredths of a second, but it's still time. It seems that Galvanic Gamer makes up most of his time in the long straights, so he's probably set his car up brilliantly for those long straights and those slow hairpin corners. Let's see what he decides to do here. So what are the Haas team going to do? Are they going to respond? Is Wazzy going to respond? Is he going to come into the pits now and change his strategy? Galvanic Gamer takes another 0.3 of a second out of Wazzy. Let's look further down the field for the battle for 3rd position between Tamika and Virgil. so close to that Manor car. Such a shame that the Manor is no longer going to be available. It does look like a very beautiful car. It's no longer going to be available for the F1 2017 game. The Manor team has folded. If you're a fan of Formula 1 and you follow the Formula 1 official sport, really disappointing to see that this team is no longer in operation, considering the mammoth and titanic battle to get this team out of administration. They were doing so well. They scored a point as well when they were running this livery. Mika just keeping Virgil at bay. Two running quite close. Doesn't look like Virgil will be able to challenge. Do anything about it. The DRS flap goes open. I'm just going to stay behind him and prepare for a move for the next DRS. So no, he just dives for it. Just goes for a dive. He takes that third position, but Tamika has decided to come into the pits anyway on lap 12. Verstappen now will benefit from that, and that takes him up a position. That gets him up to third. He's fly a bow. He's going to get into fifth position. Pitbull has left the session. So Pitbull has dropped out of this session at the moment. That's terrible news. Where was he running on track? Let's have a look. He was currently... Oh, he's dropped down to 16th. It looks like he's got a puncture. Yes, it looks like on his car, he's got a right rear puncture. And the Ghost car is automatically coming into the pits now, so that will change his tyres for him, but it won't be the tyres that he's selected. Meanwhile, let's have a look further up the field. You see ERL Virgil. Oh, and Misa has retired from the session. Misa has now retired from the session. Where is he on the track? Cannot see him anywhere. Oh, that's terrible news for the Williams team. We'll certainly have to follow up on that and let you know what happened in the next Grand Prix. Meanwhile, let's have a look further. Let's have a look at who's leading this race at the moment. So it's Virgil as he starts lap 13 out of 28. But he has got Verstappen right behind him, and so is Wazzy. They're going side by side. Verstappen locks up those hard tyres. Wazzy on the mediums. Is he going to try and go around the outside? Yes, he is. The two of them are still side by side as they come out of turn 2. Verstappen just decides to think better of it, and he lets Wazzy go. Just lets him go. He knows that he's on the faster compound. Not much point in fighting with him. And further down the field, ERL to the max has got Galvanic Gamer all over the back of his gearbox. And Calibra, who's... Oh, as Krupins has now also retired from the session. Krupins has retired from this session as well. So we're seeing cars now dropping out of this race. We're going to stick with the battle for 4th position. What's Galvanic Gamer going to do? Is he going to wait for the DRS zone? As we can see Calibra getting ever closer into this battle. And Crystal has decided to retire from this session as well. After he dropped out, his car just took him right to the back of the field. It's just so disappointing to see that McLaren team still having such problems. ERL Max. Galvanic Gamer looking for a move on the inside. Decides to try and do something around the outside. Moving all over the place, just trying to get some form drive out of the corners. The two of them now side by side as we're screening down towards turn one. Has Galvanic Gamer done enough? Yes, he has. He's done enough, and that is him now up into third position. Let's have a look at ERL Bravo, having a bit of a lonely race, but he is in 6th at the moment. So at least the Williams team will be scoring some points here. And Bravo, despite the misfortunes that Williams have sometimes had during qualifying, has really improved his racecraft to produce some really, really strong drives for the team. Certainly leading the team at the moment in the Drivers' Championship standings and scoring most of the Grove outfit's points. He's really, really come a long way as a driver, especially in the first couple of seasons where we saw Bravo just improving his racecraft ever so slightly, getting himself into better positions, understanding the positionings of drivers and cars, reacting a little bit better, and it's really starting to pay off. And you can see that Bravo has really shone since he's moved away from the Mercedes team. As Wazzy sets the fastest lap with a 1:37.2. But Bravo has really found a good team that he can just relax, just get on with the drives. He's just really putting in some very, very strong performances for the Williams team at the moment. Let's stick with the battle for third position. Let's cut to ERL to the max, who's managed to get himself back in front of Galvanic Gamer. This is a very good battle that we are seeing between these two, giving each other no quarter whatsoever. And Max knows that if he lets Galvanic Gamer go, if he gets in front of him and disappears out of the DRS zone, and that's the potential possibility of a podium just gone. You see Max just positioning his car just slightly off the racing line, doing what we call a Jason Plato. He would see a car coming up behind, and Jason Plato would just position the car in the middle of the track, so you never know where Jason is gonna move to defend. Certainly, if you've never heard of Jason Plato, I urge you to look at British Touring Car Championship videos. He's a very, very crafty driver. Certainly one of my favourites for Tin Top Racing. Here we are, looking at the DRS flap opening once again for Galvanic Gamer. Galvanic Gamer will be very, very frustrated at seeing that gearbox of the Red Bull car. Looking for a move down the inside. No, decides not to do it. It's a lovely move. Lots of acceleration. Going side by side. Has he done it here? No, he backs out of it. So for another lap then, ERL to the max. Maintains third position here. As he still controls this Grand Prix, he is 1.8 seconds in front of ERL Verstappen. He's really just controlled this race from the outset. The one thing we've got to think about now is, will Wazzy have to pit again? Some drivers have said that they would be able to one-stop this race. So if they are on the hard compound tyre now, will those tyres last until the end of the race? But for Wazzy, he did start on the hard compound tyre, but it seemed like he pitted a little bit too early, and I don't know if those medium compound tyres will last the distance. So we will try our best to stick with that as the two of them stay out for yet another lap. Let's cut back to ERL to the max. We see Galvanic Gamer still trying his hardest. Darts to the inside. And he manages to get it. Is it going to stay that way? Because Max has great traction going onto the outside. No, and it looks like Galvanic Gamer seems to have gotten the move done here. Defends the inside just in case. He's back to the racing line. And it looks like Galvanic Gamer's got it here, but he really needs to push. He needs to stick that car up into Rich and just get as far away from ERL Max as possible, just to get out of that DRS range. And it looks like he's doing it at the moment. He's got himself at least a car and a half lengths away from Max. And we know that Max is very, very strong in this particular sector. During practice, these two were very, very close to each other in terms of lap time and in terms of pace. And you can just see Galvanic Gamer now just beginning to disappear off into the distance. So I think this is it. This is job done. Max will have the DRS, so he'll be able to keep going for yet another lap. Well, let's have a look on the race director then and see if any drivers have got penalties. Well, a lot of drivers have got warnings for collisions and exceeding track limits. Crystal had a 10-second penalty. That's probably why he decided to call it a day. Pitbull also had a 3-second penalty, so that was a shame. But Ains has got a 3-second penalty, as well as Krupins has left the session. Well, Galvanic Gamer has a 3-second penalty, as does Beethoven. So Galvanic Gamer has been given a 3-second penalty for multiple track extension, as has Tamika. And Max has also got a 3-second penalty. So, well, Beethoven's got 6 seconds worth of penalties. I don't know if the other drivers will be knowing about this, but yeah, but Galvanic Gamer now, he sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We're sticking with this battle at the moment. This really, really good battle for 3rd position. With Galvanic Gamer, that's why he's pushing so hard. He knows that he's got a penalty, but I don't think he knows that Max has also got one as well. And this is why these two will be racing so hard with each other. See what Max can do. He's not allowing Galvanic Gamer to get away from him. Closes the flap, turns the corner. Opens the flap once again. I believe Calibra has come into the pits. Yes, he has. So Calibra is now in the pits. He's looking for the undercut as well. He's probably asked Jeff, the pit guy, if the guys in front have a penalty, and he's probably told them that they do have a time penalty. So if he can get the undercut on them, get in front of them and just maintain that position, he could be on net here for a 3rd position. And that would be a great consolation prize, considering the bungle that the Force India team made, double stacking their drivers so close to each other. Galvanic Gamer has just managed to stretch out a bit of a lead. He's very, very strong in the 1st sector. So let's move to other battles and see what's going on. So 6th place at the moment is Tamika. He's got Virgil behind him, but not enough to really trouble him. Ains is in 8th. 9th position is Ellie Flyabo. Libra has come out of the pits and he is now in 10th position. Fresh LP is in 11th. Beethoven, 12th position, having a very, very lonely race. Now that the race has been spread out, doesn't seem to be that many battles out on track here. And despite his problems, still going around. Pitbull, who did leave the session, his Ghost is riding in 14th. So we've only got 13 drivers. As Galvanic Gamer sets a new fastest lap, so he is on the charge here. But with those penalties, I don't think that he's really going to be in for a challenge on 1st position. That I think this race is pretty much wound up for Wazzy. He's done everything right. We're coming up to a crucial point in the Grand Prix. I want to know if Wazzy is going to come into the pits. I don't know if those medium compound tyres are going to last. Let's have a look at one of the drivers. So we've got Verstappen, who started the race on the medium compound tyre. He only did 8 laps on them. How many laps has Wazzy done on these tyres? He's done about 8 laps. This will be his 9th now, so it'll be interesting to see if he's going to come into the pits now and go for those soft compound tyres. Wazzy did 11 laps on the hard compound tyre. Staying out for yet another lap. Verstappen is now coming into the pits. I was going to say he did 13 laps on these hard tyres. And Galvanic Gamer is also coming into the pits. Ooh, just gently rubbing the pit wall there. He's coming into the pits now. He's definitely going to have to go on... No, he's going on another set of mediums. So it seems like the medium compound tyre are the way to go forward. What's Verstappen gone on? He's gone on the softs. He's going fast. He's decided, no, I'm going for a charge here for these last 7 laps. And it's all a case now is, will Wazzy respond to that? Will he continue to go out and just do the laps on these medium compound tyres? This is crucial now for Wazzy. What is he going to decide to do? So we'll stick with him. So these mediums, they must be screaming towards the end of their life. But what is he going to decide to do? Is he going to decide to go into the pits on this lap and respond and go onto those soft compound tyres? Are we going to have a straight fight? We know that Verstappen on soft tyres, on low fuel, qualifying run style battles, he is very, very good, and it is very difficult, and it is few and far in between to find someone that can actually compete or beat Verstappen in a straight fight when it's those kind of conditions. He relishes in those. What's Wazzy going to do? He's coming into the pits right now. So it's all about what kind of tyre is he going to go on. Well, here comes Verstappen. He's coming down to the pit straight. Is it going to be enough? It's just enough! It's just enough for him to take the lead of the Malaysian Grand Prix. And Wazzy has also gone onto the soft compound tyre. So we have got a fight on our hands now for the last 6 laps of this Grand Prix. Amazing stuff there. So Verstappen did the undercut to perfection, decided he wasn't going to keep going on for another lap. He just wanted to get in as quickly as possible. And it's really worked out for him now. So we have got a battle for first and second. Verstappen in his return to the European Racing League. Could we see him taking a victory? I don't want to freak you guys out, but in the background, Galvanic Gamer, he's 4.4 seconds behind. The back end stepped out a little bit there, so we've lost half a second. He is on the medium compound tyre. Is that going to be to his detriment? Is he going to lose out on a potential victory here? But if these two are battling each other, we're going on the onboard camera, looking at Wazzy in the DRS zone. He's just weaving all over the place. That's a little bit dangerous when you've got the DRS flap open. I think he's just trying to confuse Verstappen, just trying to put Verstappen off of his line. In the slipstream now, Verstappen sets the fastest lap. Wazzy around the inside. Verstappen is going to continue going around the outside. Keeps his nose in with a shout. Oh, the two of them get so close to each other. Bravo now sets the fastest lap, and then Virgil sets the fastest lap. But Wazzy has retaken the lead in the Malaysian Grand Prix. He was not allowing Verstappen any chance of belief that he was going to take the victory here. This has been Wazzy's to lose since the start of this Grand Prix, and he has decided that he'll be damned if anyone is going to take that away from him. He's beginning to pull a little bit of a gap now, but Verstappen just keeping behind him, 0.3 of a second. It's now increased to 0.6 of a second, so Wazzy is just a man possessed. And let's have a look at the race director and further down and see if these drivers have got penalties. Well, Verstappen has had a warning for exceeding track limits, but the pair of them have not had any penalties, so this is just a straight out fight. It has to be based on position. Wazzy's setting the fastest lap, and he's just 1 second in front of Verstappen. But Verstappen was able to use the DRS because the timing screen to complete the lap was before the DRS, after the DRS zone, which came at the hairpin at the final corner. You don't think that Verstappen has really got anything to respond to the Haas car at the moment. Wazzy looks on course to take the 20 points and the lead of the Drivers' Championship if he finishes in front here. Well, the Haas team did say that they wanted to refocus their efforts. And they've certainly done that. They have produced a very, very strong drive here. Wazzy has just led this Grand Prix from start to finish. Meanwhile, Galvanic Gamer has pulled away from the drivers behind him, but it looks like he's going to have to settle on lap 24 out of 28 for third place. Sanders decided to leave now. He's left the session. This is enough for him. ERL Max currently riding in 4th place. Haynes, after a disappointing middle stint, saw him way down the field. Oh, well, I was going to say he's in 5th place, but now he's come into the pit, so that's going to drop him even further down the field. And apparently he's gotten himself another puncture. It's just so disappointing. Well, that promotes Calibra up into 5th place, but he'll be thinking what could have been. If the Force India team had not double stacked him and Verstappen, he could have been further up the field at least, or at least on par with Max to challenge him. Lee Flyer Bow is in 6th position. Bravo is in 7th. 8th is Virgil, so the Renault team, after a really promising showing, just fallen by the wayside here. It's just not been their day. As has the Williams team, it's not been Nisa's day either. Mika is in 9th place. Pretty much out on his own. He can see cars just in front of him, but he's just hasn't got the speed in that Mana Mercedes to really catch up to them, even though he's on the soft tyre. Well, Ames is in 10th, so he rounds out the top 10 at the moment. Meanwhile, let's have a look at the battle for first. We're coming up to lap 26 out of 28. Verstappen has got nothing to respond to Wazzy as Wazzy extends his lead by another 0.3 of a second. It's 2 seconds now between the two of them. It just looks like that Force India is just going to have to be happy enough with the second step of the podium. Is Galvanic Gamer beginning to close in on the soft, tired runner of ERL Verstappen? Don't think he's got enough to do. He's not got enough laps. It's just under 3 laps to close in and pass Verstappen, and I don't think he's not got the time to do so. So it seems like, bar any kind of incident, the top 3 pretty much sorted here. Max pretty much guaranteed 4th place. Libra is in 5th. Don't think he's going to be troubled there. And the drivers are pretty much spread out at the moment. As in saying that though, Bravo being caught by Virgil. At the moment that Williams, the meat in a Renault sandwich. Virgil feeling like he can get an extra position here and get some more points for the Renault team. They're currently 2nd place in the championship, but they're gonna fall further behind the Haas team. The only upside to this is that Pit Bull will not be scoring any points. The American Shop team goes into flat for the first DRS point. But he and Bravo are on the soft compound tyre now. Second DRS flap wide open. Is Virgil going to go? He's going to look to the inside. Decides not to do it. Stick with this fight. Bravo did break a little bit late, missed the apex just a touch, trying to defend against that Renault. 2 laps left. Can he hold on? One of the only battles that we've got in the closing stages of this Grand Prix. We're going to stick with this just for a little while. Just trying everything. He ran a little bit wide out of that particularly low speed corner. Position the car as best as possible to get on the accelerator. Here we go. The DRS zone will be activated here once again. And it's quite surprising as well that for the 2nd race in a row, despite the issues that we had, no safety car. There was no safety car for this Grand Prix. Bravo already going defensive as Virgil took a tight line. He's going to be thinking about going around the outside so he can take the inside for the next corner. They're side by side going into turn 1. Ooh, and Virgil just slams the door on Bravo and says, "You are not having this position back, my friend. That 7th place is mine." And he has done it. He has taken it. He's taken it by force. We're on the final lap now. Let's go back to the front runners. As Wazi has dominated proceedings here. He's got a ghosting back marker in front of him, but that won't be distracting him too much. He won't be thinking of anything else other than just completing this race. He's pretty much led from start to finish. Nobody has opposed him. He's had a couple of squabbles here and there with some drivers, particularly Verstappen. But it's just been his to lose. I see now one more corner to go, and he will take his first victory in the European Racing League. Wazi crosses the line. Brilliant drive from him, and he will take the lead in the Drivers' Championship. Galvanic Gamer finishes an inspired 2nd position. Oh, I do apologise, an inspired 2nd position was that? Yes, he will. Galvanic Gamer will take 2nd place. Verstappen drops down to 3rd because of his penalties. Calibra apparently will finish in 4th position. Well, there we go then. There are the results for the Grand Prix. Wazi takes a fantastic victory here for the Haas team. Galvanic Gamer is in second position. ERL Verstappen will finish in third. Kaliber is in fourth. Fifth for Max. Eli Flyabo is in sixth. Seventh for Virgil. Bravo for eighth. Ninth, Tamika. 10th, Ains. 11th is Fresh LP. 12th is Sand. 13th is Beethoven. Pitbull in 14th. Crystal, Krupins, Misa, and STB pair round out the rest of them. Well, this has been the European Racing League. Thank you so much for everyone for joining in and taking part in this. I am the Kehoe. We will see you all next time.